Hello, everyone. Welcome to lecture video number 2. Here we're going to talk about the 5-paragraph essay structure and do a little bit of a refresher on outlines. So we come back to the anatomy of an essay. So for this, your introduction is the funnel. You've got a set of body paragraphs, which is your magnifying glass that is examining the topic. And then we have our conclusion, which is the knot. Um, and we will actually take a look at the specific parts of this anatomy of an essay in our 5-paragraph essay format next. So, the 5-paragraph essay structure is a really common structure to see and have taught early on in writing careers. So, it consists of just 5 paragraphs, with the introduction and the conclusion being the top bun and the bottom bun of your sandwich. Go back to that hamburger method. And then paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 are your body. So looking at paragraph 1, you are going to be required to include topic or your background information. So just enough information that's necessary for your reader to understand your topic. Um, Consider coming back to some of the background information that was provided in the prompt for this specific assignment. And you will need to include your thesis statement. That is all in the introduction. The next chunk is your body paragraphs. And so paragraph number 2 is going to focus on main point number 1, whatever that may be in support of your thesis statement. So you will have a topic sentence, which is a single sentence that identifies one main idea that will be focused on and discussed in this paragraph, and is proof or support of the thesis statement. And then you will have supporting evidence. This could be a quote, it could be a statistic, it could be paraphrased information from a source that explains and directly connects and proves that singular main idea of this paragraph. And then below that, you will have explanation. So the explanation is going to kind of connect the dots for your reader on the evidence that you just gave. So if you gave just some numbers and statistics, you want to make sure your reader understands how those evidence prove or support the main points, and then how that furthers your thesis. You can repeat the supporting evidence and explanation sections here as many times as you would need, maybe up to 3 per body paragraph. I recommend at least repeating and providing 2 pieces of supporting evidence per paragraph. In paragraph 3 and 4, you're going to include a topic sentence, supporting evidence, and explanation. And you'll also have some sort of transition to help signal to the reader that a new idea is going to be discussed in this paragraph. You could have the transition be right at the end of your last paragraph as well, but you're going to need that transition. And then lastly, Ted, you're going to have a conclusion paragraph. So this is paragraph number 5, and it is going to revisit your overall purpose for writing. It restate and rephrase your thesis statement. It could also be inviting your reader to consider the larger implications and the way your topic and your argument sits in the larger context of the world. So that's your basic structure. As a reminder, when you're doing outlines, you do not need to write out whole paragraphs. You can use complete sentences, you can use bullet points, you can even use just like single word ideas. It doesn't need to be super detailed, as if it were a whole paragraph. And I'm not looking for you to write out whole paragraphs here, for this outline today. For this class, if you're using short sentences or detailed bullet points, that would be ideal. So then I can understand where you're going and what your plan is, and then I can give you better feedback. So this is going to be what the outline format looks like. Obviously, you'll have body paragraph 2 and 3 on the template that you are using. So don't just do these three. Make sure you do body paragraph 2 and 3. You'll be missing some points. So here in the introduction, we have the background and context, the thesis statement, and then this optional hook or attention grabber at the top of this box. And so these are in order of how you would write them in your actual paragraph structure. But the first thing is the hook or attention grabber. It's just going to be something maybe that sparks your reader's curiosity. I say it's optional here because sometimes you're not always sparked with that creative and bitten with the creative bug to come up with something good for your hook or attention grabber on the outline itself. So don't feel like you're stuck on the hook there. What is required is the background and the thesis statement. And I give a little bit of ideas on what you need to have in each. So for the background, you're going to want to provide that context, why it matters. You can use information from your sources or from the original prompt paragraph. You can then or will then need your thesis statement, which will be your claim or position on the issue, plus 3 supporting reasons. In your body paragraph, you'll have a area for a topic sentence, and then you'll have a area for supporting evidence 1 and an explanation for that evidence, and then you will have an extra area where you can write out more supporting evidence. I'm looking to have 2 pieces of supporting evidence per body paragraph. Down here in the conclusion, I've given you some options, a little bit of a menu of options on how you can end here. You can start your concluding paragraph by restating your thesis or synthesizing your arguments. You'll then want to explain the significance of the of your arguments of your claim. You could also highlight the strongest evidence or insight that you made in the paper. And then lastly, you want to either broaden the perspective of your reader or end with a thought-provoking statement. You could do all of options in your concluding paragraph if you wish, but those are just a series of ideas on what you would want to do to write a good concluding paragraph. For the assignment, I am asking that you type in some easy to read color. Green, red, and blue are pretty easy for me to read and will pop against the black writing of the actual worksheet. If you see here, I've got it already in red, but if you don't like the color red or you can't see the color red very well, feel free to change to another bright and easy to read color for me. And let me show you really quick what that document will look like. So this is what your essay outline template will look like. It goes down onto the next page. So make sure you scroll, make sure you complete body paragraph 2 and body paragraph 3, along with the conclusion. Please reach out if you've got questions, and happy writing.